Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Today we'll be trying to answer the big question on whether to get building health or boom cannons next. So we did reach diamond on stone today, and this is the path we took. We skipped snipers and this multi-node. Main reason for that is knowing that there's bigger tech after 5 ER. And there were pros and cons to both paths. So building health is a bit cheaper going through Kavan, whereas boom cannons you have to get boom mines and lasers. And it looked like they both affect hits around the same amount. So the main thing was, what other stuff do we get in this path? So since most people are using RC hits, boom mines wouldn't do much. And well, lasers are a strong troop, but using them without Kavan, since they're on different paths, they wouldn't have much use either. So instead we looked at if Kavan is worth it. And watching some other RC hits, it seems like it was, since you can just take one boat of heavies and keep on reviving it, or even level 1 rifles because they die to one shot on cannons, boom cannons, doom cannons anyways. So we took a chance and it worked out. Also shout out to Orion. We saw him push a diamond a few hours before us, and also made Kavan look worth it. So now we can look at some of the live hits that pushed us to diamond. So during our push, we're still matching some 4 ERs. And like this one, a lot of them have more defenses, so 2 extra cannons. This one actually doesn't have sniper towers, but a lot of them do. I like taking 2 heavies on these. It's a bit safer, but if you're already 5 ER, I'd say it's better played safe. Might also help no IT players lose less troops. And we're still taking Kavan with these, but I don't really expect it to do much. Because you have the heavies as a meat shield, you can save a few shocks with them. Now on our push, we haven't faced that many boom cannon bases. I don't think any at all during our push, but later on, if you have Kavan, I think he helps bringing back rifles or heavies. And just like the other 4 ER video, just flaring ERs now. Heavies let you save GB, so you can spend as many shocks as you want on the final ER. So this one will get around a 255, and I think these kind of times should get you wins, especially if you're a 5 ER. But we'll move on to the next one. Most bases we're facing also don't have building health yet, so it just lets RCs move through everything faster and flash cannons better. It's like here we'll just take all RCs and going from the right side, avoiding that DC range. Might use Kavan second wind once, because even though it's level 1 rifles, they can still act as the meat shield. And also spread out the RCs, let them kill stuff faster. With cannons, you can always flash them, but dim cannons, you gotta shock. So here we can move everyone to the right. Cannon already looks, so we'll shock it. But once this ER goes down, we can flare right again. Again, we'll try to group the RCs together, then flare the cannon. In this case, we still lost one, but it's okay. Maybe trying to flare this cannon. The RCs will split, so they can get both of these ERs at the same time. And as they clear this, could maybe reflare, and then go to the last ER. One shock should do it. Still have GB for another one. And these 5 ERs without a lot of defenses, we aim for around 245 or even faster times. Usually they can get the win. And let's see if we face any tougher bases. Now here's a pretty common base, and when there's a cannon up front, it's a little harder to flash, but we learned this cool new trick, where instead of flaring the cannon directly or letting other troops pile up. You can drop the RCs all to the left of it, wait around a second and then flare it. And usually you can kill it without it shooting any RCs down. So we'll drop all of them, wait a second and then flare. The cannon does turn but dies before it can shoot. Again, that helps save GB because you don't have to shock it and you don't lose an RC. Here we can do a reflare and then try to flash that cannon. Still having to shock that DC. Also trying to flare the other cannon to flash. This way you keep all the RCs alive and you can shock that DC still. Just enough GB to do all that. Also, you don't have to be afraid to lose some RCs. Like, sometimes you can flare knowing that someone's gonna die, but let it happen because you don't always need all 8 RCs alive the whole hit. We'll do the same approach here. Flare that cannon and then the last 2 ERs. You still have enough GB for shocking that one cannon. And make for around a 250 time. And now we can move on to our boss fight. Now this is also a pretty common base. And one trick we learned is using one RC for the right side. Should get that ER down without much hassle. You can also take one heavy, and I think of all the hits, this is one where Kavan helps the most. Because if you take one heavy, you can keep on reviving them. So we'll use one here. And also those snipers with building damage, they hurt RCs. So adding in one heavy can help with that. We still have to shock the left cannon. And now as these heavies die, we can just watch Kavan maybe use 1 second wind after a while. And if you look at the right RC, it'll take care of that one ER. We can do a second wind now and a shock. And watching that heavy, didn't really need that shock. Also missed the cannon on the right, but it's okay. Because that one RC takes care of the ER, it really speeds up the hit. So you can still make mistakes and get a decent time. We'll clear a few more cannons and then flare the last ER. One more shock and get around a 250. And this might be a fast time, but looks like he almost made it. Just not quite the last ER. But getting enough stars from that, and it gets us to diamond. So another reason why I liked taking up Kavan and BH was not many others had it at this time. So it's not just what you can push with, but what you can push more easily with. Like, I don't think boom cannons are a bad option, but it might be easier going BH because you also get some offense. So we can open our chest. And now I think our next steps are getting boom cannons. After that, we'll see how it goes. Still some time to decide. Maybe make our way to barrage and do some laser hits. I think there will be a shift at some point. So I think a big takeaway is wherever you are, go towards one of the two, building health or boom cannons. But that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.